Good morning, good morning. Happy Friday, happy Friday. Welcome back. It's the 24th of April. This morning, I started really great. The wife and I just got back from a walk. She just got back from New York a couple of days ago. She has a cough. Nothing serious. I was in the gym last night and pulled something on my back. So, trying to get back into the fitness, but you know what? Didn't stop us from going on this beautiful walk this morning. So I hope everybody's doing well. I know a couple of you guys messaged on the earlier video, which I did, I think a day ago, regarding dividend stocks and what I'm doing with inflation, etc. And the issue I had with some audio, it was not matching up the latency with the videos. So hopefully it's fixed right now. I'm just checking if anyone's in the chat right now. Um, the wife is in the chat. Awesome. Thanks for being in the chat. Let's reply to her that everything is good. She puts thumbs up. So yeah, let's get into it. So as you can see, the portfolio is open up. It's currently sitting at 6,998 and some change. Let's just refresh that. And basically, I've sold more of my XRP. Okay, and if you guys see the video a couple of videos ago, the public portfolio. So this segment of the channel is all about the public portfolio and what I'm doing from 0 to 10,000 K, then 10,000 to 20, and 20 to 50, and 50 and onwards, right? The public portfolio. And if you don't know anything about me, I'm just a guy with a hat. Been in this market since 2015. My first stock that I bought was Facebook when the company was called Facebook back when I used to live in Dubai. I bought it for under 90 bucks. And back then I couldn't even buy fractional shares. So fast forward, living in the US since 2019, blah, blah, blah. And I've been trading and I've been buying the companies that I believe in and the brands that I believe in, their values, where they're going, and everything like that. From heavily, sorry, in during the peak of the COVID period, right? Um, so that's me in a nutshell. So going back to XRP, so we're looking at XRP right now. So my position in why I'm selling crypto in this Robinhood public portfolio. I used to help people if they wanted to get into investing. I was like, use Robinhood. It's user friendly, and these are the people who would just ask me like, hey, besides your primary traditional day job, what else are you doing in terms for sources of income? So one source of income for me since 2015 has been investing. And obviously, I don't know much about crypto, like how I do know about stocks. So a friend of mine wanted to, a year ago, wanted to get into XRP, and I'm like, cool. He's like, how'd you go about buying it? And if you look into my, I bought crypto on the public portfolio. First ever was April 7, 2025. And in my so I have all my crypto sitting on Coinbase at this point in time. That's where all my bags of crypto are. And this was just like an account I opened up just to show him how to do it because he didn't have the Coinbase app. So I said, okay, do you have Robinhood? And he's like, yes, great. On that note, let me have a sip of my Celsius. Not sponsored or anything. I just like Celsius, and I'm an investor of Celsius. So going back to XRP. So if you look at the details when I was buying it, and you can see this is just we were doing it together in terms of, so I had put about $1,000 in XRP at the time when we both put in money, and I just showed him like this is how to do it, blah blah blah. However, I've moved from New York to Fort Lauderdale recently, and staying in Florida now. That's another story why and reasons. Main reason is because I'm from Dubai. The weather's pretty similar, minus all the hurricanes when they happen. We don't get hurricanes in Dubai. But getting back to crypto and the public portfolio, so people were used to reach out and say, Jeremy, what are you doing? How are you doing it? Blah, blah, blah. So instead of replying to everybody on WhatsApp, Discord groups, I said, let me take this public portfolio public and share it with you guys. I'm taking 0 to 10, 10 to 20, and that's the aim, and 20 to 50, and 50 to 100 and onwards, right? So disclaimer, I am not a financial advisor of any sort. I'm just sharing my experience, what I'm doing in the market. So do your own due diligence, look at your uh, brands that you want to get into. If you buy cosmetic products, as an example, I invest in Elf Beauty. So these are the things that I do in my life. I drink Celsius, so I invest in Celsius. I buy Apple devices and uh, the other items, Apple TVs, Apple books, whatever, MacBooks. So I invest in Apple to give you an example, right? So why I've been selling XRP is because I'm keeping my liquid cash ready for a big fall that I think is going to happen. When is it going to happen? I have no clue, right? But uh, because my XRP average cost was really down, so the average cost was really high. Like in Coinbase, my average cost is about on XRP like 77 cents, right? Or maybe 87 cents. I can get back to you guys, but it's less than a dollar, right? So right now I have about $503, and like you can see here, that's total return, today's return, and basically I mean converting. There you go. You could see the conversion or the selling, right? I've been selling XRP, and the reason I'm selling XRP because I'm buying more stocks, right? And the stocks that I've added in the public portfolio that I feel has growth, that I feel that after listening to the some of the earning calls and speaking to the, because I'm also in the right rooms, I feel, with the information that I feel correct about these companies. So some of these players in these rooms that I know personally, they're friends of mine. Some of them are my clients. Have been in the game way longer than I am. Some of them are in their 50, 60, right? I'm an 80s baby. Some of them are in their late 30s, and some of them are 10, 20, 40 millionaires. Some are like a millionaire. So I'm in rooms with millionaires and multi-millionaires, right? And I'm just sharing what I hear from them, what we discuss, what we're doing. So the public portfolio is like a challenge where I'm just like, okay, guys, 0 to 10, 10 to 20, 20 to 50, 50 and onwards, right? How fast? Well, it all depends how much you want to accumulate in terms of these stocks, what you believe in, and how diversified you want to make your portfolio in terms of, is it like recession proof? Is it, are you in ETFs? Are you in this, right? Now, I'm doing the public portfolio. Like I said, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just doing it the way I know what's best and what's been working for me. My private portfolio is really, like I've done great numbers in AMD because AMD is now 300. I've been buying AMD in the private portfolio when AMD was like 120 and some change, right? Or maybe less, I don't know. But around that mark, that's what comes to my mind right now. So I've made a killing in AMD, but that killing is my killing, right? So like everybody's investment journey is a little slightly different because you got to go what's aligned with you. So let's jump into it right now. Again, it's showing $745 up as of today. If we go to, let's just go to, I want to show you guys all time, all data. So all data, how much is I'm down $656 all time, right? And that's mainly because if you look at here, it's mainly from XRP, H bar, right? The 656 and some other ones which we'll get into, right? So let me just X these things. Right, so let's go back to 1 day, which is showing 44, right? If you go to 1 week, I'm $155 down. 1 month, I'm up $464. 3 months year to date, 1 year, 1.6 all time, 656, right? So going back to the day. Now, what is happening basically on the public portfolio is mainly we just jump into the reds and come back to the greens, right? If you look at my SaaS stock, Adobe, CRM, ServiceNow, right? Now, these are the stocks I have of these companies in the public portfolio, and the shares, went down mainly with Salesforce. Now, I believe these companies, why I've sold XRP and I put more money in certain of my SaaS stock, and the other one I put in money in is Nike and more Elf. So I'm accumulating Nike because in the public portfolio, because Nike in my private portfolio is in red, right? So when I got into Nike some time ago in a private portfolio, but at a much higher price, right? So now, leaving that aside, I'm like, okay, let me just accumulate more shares. So my private portfolio is in Fidelity Brokerage. So I'm just accumulating as well in Robinhood on these companies. Now I believe Nike is going through a transition period where I feel they're going to come out of it. They're doing a lot of, we all know about the news in the market where they've basically 1,400 jobs globally have been redundant or whatever. But I try to focus on the positive noise, the green lights, the light at the end of the tunnel, the vision, the mission of these companies, their values. I like Nike as a brand. I don't see it going anywhere. Can the stock fall more from where it is? Probably. Can it can it come back? Definitely. Like if you look at Nike 3 months from now, where were they? They were a high of $64, close to 62. We go a year back, $74, 5 years. Look at that. They July 12, August, between July 12 and August 6 to 21, they were $161, high of 174, right? So if this is on Robinhood, right? Like the public portfolio. My average cost is 45 and 28 cents. It's 44 currently. It's still, the market opens in 5 minutes Eastern time. So if you look at let's look at Morningstar. So I'm a Robinhood Gold. I just pay $5 a month. So there's already saying that Nike should be at a fair value of $97, right? And we are like at 44 and some change. So the analysts are saying 50% buy, 45% are holding, 5% is selling. That's it, right? And you get all these data from Morningstar, news articles, what do the bulls say, bears say, everything, right? So and they all open up. Oh, one second, how do you do this? So I'm trying to mirror. Anyway, so I guess if you click it, it says okay. Nike win. So the bulls are saying this was published on April 9th. Nike win. Nike's win now strategy is designed to improve efficiency while developing innovative merchandise to drive sales and improve pricing. EBIT margins should return to mid-teens levels in the medium term. Nike generates significant free cash flow and consistently returns capital to shareholders through dividends and share purchases. That's a great thing that I wanted to talk about. My earlier video of Nike basically says that these are the two public stocks that I'm putting in the public portfolio, which is basically dividend stocks, right? In my earlier video, I speak about Nike is one of those companies that has increased their dividend yearly from, I think, since they went public from 80s onwards, right? Hardly any companies actually increase their dividends every time to their investors, and they've been doing this for their investors. So that's a great thing. That's another reason I am buying more Nike stock, in my opinion, because they also pay you a great dividend, right? The global sportswear market continues to expand, especially in Asia and other developing markets. As the share leader, Nike is positioned to benefit, right? So I think because I'm casting, I can't move on this, which is kind of weird. I should be able to drag, but or maybe it's over here. Yes, I can get into it over here. Like I said, Nike cuts 1,400 jobs as win now turnaround strategy. I'm not getting into all that jazz, but the beautiful thing about like Robinhood as an app, and I'm sure other apps as well, they have all these details, right? 3 minutes before the market opens. So going back to SaaS stocks, so I've been putting some converting XRP. I'm not taking any more dry powder liquid cash from my bank, and I'm using it to fund the stocks that I believe have growth in the future. I'm an investor. I'm not a trader, so that what that means to me is that I invest in companies for the long term, and I obviously review them a year in after investing them 2 years in, 3 years. But I usually don't sell my position, and I build my positions out. So I accumulate. So if you keep on watching my videos that come out about this segment of the channel, you will see like today I'm $1.82 in shares of ELF, and I keep on building. But I only build when I'm in red, right? So for example, today now is 122. I will buy more now if it falls like $12 is not a big I like to buy if this was like more than $50, for example, like these companies. I'll just put small amounts in 10, 20, 30, because I don't know how hard they can fall. Like a falling knife, I'm not going to catch it. I don't know how far they're going to go. And I love buying. If you see my first video, second video, third video on this series, I'm buying in red. The whole public portfolio on Robinhood was red, right? And that's when I like to buy, because when the market does go up, which is obviously based on the chart, you can see, go back 3 years, 5 years, the market does go up, right? It's the market literally falls really hard, in my opinion, and then in no time, a month or two, it just keeps on growing, right? a minute before the markets open. Also in the chat, comment below. Let me know what you guys are buying uh, in terms of what stocks are you getting into, what are you looking at, what you want me to look at, right? I'm definitely would be open to hear what you guys also look into buying. So crypto, there's a event coming up in Miami, consensus, right? So what I'm going to do for all my followers and subs and on YouTube or everybody right now, I'm going for the event. I'll put it up. I'll put up a post, but I'm gonna give a person a chance to get 20% off my code if they use it when they buy a ticket. And I like to be in these events and conferences because I'm leveling up my knowledge when it comes to crypto and what Web3 and that whole blockchain industry is doing, right? So shout out to the person who's working with me on the person knows who I'm talking about for giving me the code and me offering it to you guys. I will see you in Miami if you guys want to come and link up and meet me in person. Always here to network because your network is your net worth, right? It's 9:30 a.m. Let's see what's happening in the market. It's just basically doing its thing right now. It's open, but 6985 not great. I think we were, if we look at about, let's look at a week because I think we went up. What did we hit? See, so we hit 7203, right? And it's like I'm saying, besides these two, let's not look at that. The guys who are pulling me down are the SaaS stock, right? To bring my average down. So I definitely want to build again. I think OVSI just now it was $12 down, it's going up. So what am I doing right now in the public portfolio? In the public portfolio, Friday is a good. So when I buy my stocks, I usually buy in like during 12 to 2 in the day, so noon to 2 p.m., right? That's how I like to buy my stocks. Why do I buy it at this timing? I just like to either I'm on the live with you guys or I'm doing my traditional job. But that's the time where I feel like I like to buy, right? Let me know if you have any timings to buy. I don't like to buy when the market opens. I don't like to buy before the market closes. I like to buy during those timings. And on Fridays, it's the same thing. I usually look at the charts again at this time, 12 to 3 and or 12 to 2 and see what's happening and if I'm going to get into place. Now, whether you're on a budget or not, having your money sat in a bank in a checking or saving account isn't doing jack shit in my opinion, right? So if you put your money in any of these, like if you just let's just pick VOO, right? Now VOO is an ETF. It follows the S&P 500, right? Um, I would suggest every portfolio have this. If you're so this basically this public portfolio is basically trying to help people who just got into the investment game, whether you're like a newbie or whatever. It's really easy to do. Put some money in, and based on like this VOO position on the public portfolio, right now it's $469, right? I made 4.08%, $18 and some change. So really safe uh, way to make money on your money is by having great ETFs, VO, VTI. Like you can put money on like the Qs, the triple Qs, which follow all the tech heavy companies. However, because it's tech heavy, when tech falls, that ETF also falls, right? VO is basically the top 500 companies in the US, right? So but if you kept your money in a bank, you're not getting 4.11%, it just went up. You see what I'm saying? So make smart decisions with your money, right? Yes, you pay taxes on this depending what state and where you live in the country or in the world. But if the money was sat, even if you say 3%, you're going to get back after deductions and blah, 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 your money's still growing, right? So factor all these in. Otherwise, keep your money in a high yield account savings with a great APY, but I also say invest. And Robinhood, Robinhood also tells you, shows you all the details, the sectors that the VOO is, right? So 33.62% in tech, financial services, real estate, energy, industrial, healthcare. So it's in all these things, and basically you can see them color coded over here, what sectors they're in of this fund. Also your top 10 holdings. So VO holds 7.58 of Nvidia, Microsoft, Apple. So, obviously you can see what else they hold, the top 10 holdings, right? Obviously not top 500 because they do 500. But if you look at the top 10, it's basically tech heavy, right? So that's why I say diversify your portfolio, right? Make sure it's good. And this is another reason that I sold some XRP. And that's just me, right? I have good bags of XRP in my Coinbase. So I'm happy with my position of XRP at this moment. Still, till the Clarity Act passes, blah, blah, blah. Then I know certain if I need more or not. But at this position, I'm happy with my positions in XRP, Ethereum, and Solana, right? I'm just happy. That's just me. So the diversified portfolio, what I mean by that, like I bought Elf Cosmetics. Only reason because I feel like these companies are a good deal right now. If you look at the 5 years growth, this company was at $202. That's crazy. If you look at the chart, like I'm looking at the chart as well with you guys, 202. We're at $67. Okay, and like I've been in the country. I'm probably going on my 8th year now. Uh, it's definitely 7 years and some change, right? So in no time flies. We all know that. So I know it's going to go up there with the research that I've done of Elf. Again, I'm not telling you what to buy, hold, or sell. I'm just sharing my experience with you guys, right? Again, 145 in September 23rd, 2025. Let's look at Morningstar, what they're saying about this stock. So basically, let's just stay here for a moment. I bought this stock. This is a new position in the public portfolio. Let's let's go to this. Right. So I didn't have this position. I bought it on April 22nd, 2 days earlier. And I put $119 in it. I got 1.8 shares. Like it tells you all the details, right? And now, does Morningstar have a review of this company over here? So it doesn't at this point in time. But my average cost is $65 of my investment, and the house money and whatever's profit is 121.82 right now. So I'm up 2.37%. Now, when I say diversification, I'm obviously building like Elf, apparel, tech. This is as good as apparel. It's a golf company. SaaS stock now, ETF, SaaS stock, SaaS stock, tech, tech, tech. Uh, this could be tech and another sector because it obviously so what does APH do? APH, if you look here, engages in the design, manufacture, and marketing of electronic, and fiber optic connectors, integrate. So all those wires and systems that so it's also hardware, right? But in the tech sector, right? Google, Microsoft, another ETF, SCHD, VOO, Robinhood. So if you look at my public portfolio right now in the stock, these are the banking companies, SoFi and American Express. These are the investing apps, Coin and Hood, similar financial sectors, but different execution in terms of what they do, what the company does, right? ETF, top, that again S&P 500. And then you have SaaS stocks, then you have tech, then you have ETFs, again, apparel, which is Nike, and then some other investing apps and cosmetics, right? So what I need to add to this, if you look at my early video, I talked about Cheesecake Factory that I might add to this public portfolio. Why? I do have Cheesecake. I'm in green on the private portfolio, but I'm trying to diversify the public portfolio as well, right? And I want to accumulate more Cheesecake Factory because I feel it's at a good price right now, $61. If you look at 1 year ago, they were almost the same. Let's look at 5 years ago. So 5 years ago, you can see the growth. So they were 57. What about max? Right? So I'm accumulating. There was never a high price from what we can see in these charts. However, let's look at if Morningstar is giving them a rating. Look at this. Since 1972, Cheesecake Factory has been there. 48,400 employees. Wow. I wonder if that's a global number. It should be, right? Because I know I've been to cheesecake companies in the Gulf. Here it's saying 70%. So great. Like I'm buying it. So, pa, 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 pa. See, people also own these companies who own cheesecake. Wow, that's pretty cool. And I own all three of these companies. So I don't think Morningstar has reviewed them because it would have come up right now. But these are the companies, I'd like to get into. I might, like, I'm also adding Celsius to my private portfolio. I might even put some in here as well. And I know that, like, people are talking to me about, like, yeah, but Costco just made their own energy drink and it costs, you can buy, like, so many of Costco's Kirkland's brand. I'm like, cool, yeah, but, there's so many Coke ripoffs, Pepsi ripoffs. I mean, ripoffs is the wrong word to use, but alternatives. But people still choose Pepsi and Coke, right? So if I like Celsius, I like the taste, I like this. Like, although Costco has that brand, I've never tried it out, so I don't know the difference. But I'm also investing in these companies. I'm not emotionally attached to any of these companies, right? I'm just doing this to make money, right? I want my money to grow, and whether it goes up or down, I can't see it, but I can only go on by on data what I have on hand or what is put out there, and so I can see how Celsius has grown as a brand in what they're doing globally, not just domestically, and I'm happy with it. Like where they're going and what they're doing. The CEO John. So yeah, look, headquarters in Florida. So hey, supporting my Floridians, but I do see the stock going. If you follow me on IG, I put up like screenshots of what's the bull price, the bear price, the current price of these companies, what I'm doing as well. So my link for my IG is down below. If you guys want to follow, it's up to you. There's no pressure. But yeah, but it's kind of the algorithm on Robinhood is basically showing us like if you buy Elf Beauty, you can also buy these companies that people are looking at. Where is that gone? Let's go back to it. Where were we at? 1 second. Were we in Nike and I showed us that? So also they're saying people who also buy Nike are buying PayPal, Disney, Adobe. I own Disney and Adobe. I used to own PayPal back in the day. It's just a position I got out of for the reason, it's my reason. What was the reason? I don't know. I just felt like, I think during, like, if I hold a stock for about, so I'm a long-term investor. When I say that, I'm not like a Warren Buffett who holds stock for like 30 plus years, right? I look at my ecosystem. I'm like, okay, it's 4 years in, 5 years in. Let's look at how much I made, blah, blah, blah. Do I move this money here into like a Nike or Elf who's taking a beating now, or an Adobe or now? So that's what I do, because I say, okay, if I've made enough of gains in a company, okay, do I hold that, or do I take some of that portion and put it in another company to see that I've peaked? Like, for example, if you look at Nvidia today, right? Is Nvidia in this public portfolio? I didn't see it. Did you guys see Nvidia? Okay, Nvidia is right here, right? So Nvidia is $202, right? But if you look at AMD, where it is, because people obviously ask, like, new to the game, AMD is 345. That's crazy. That's crazy. AMD is 345. Bro, people are cooking. If you are an AMD investor, bro, write AMD in the chat. Let's go. So I have AMD in the private portfolio. AMD in my private portfolio, besides my ETS, which is VOO, SPMO, AMD is my biggest individual stock. Biggest in the portfolio, right? Then I think it's Amazon. Then it's Nvidia, and Apple, I think, is next. But bro, 3, 4, bro. Let's look at this. This is interesting, right? But I'm coming back to what I'm saying. Like, we just checked Nvidia. Nvidia is cheaper than AMD, and the reason why, because obviously Nvidia, at the time it grew, but because it's kind of peaked in at this point of moment, right? And this is obviously my opinion, right? AMD hasn't peaked. It's growing. It's never been. This is the highest ever, right? Highest ever. Look, max. Look at this, bro. From all time, 1,847% up, right? 5 years ago, 317. A year ago, past year, it's 274% up. Year to date, 56% up. 3 months, 33% up. 1 month, 59% up. 1 week, 24% up. 1 day, 12 point. Bro, if you aren't in AMD, bro, what a company, bro. The reason that, so like I said, it hasn't peaked yet, like how Nvidia's peaked at this point in time. So this company is just growing right now. Nvidia's stock price will increase, but you understand, right? Like Apple is at the price because it's kind of peaked. Unless it comes up with something great now again, innovative, etc., a fold phone or whatever, then will the price shoot up as well because more people will come as investors, right? Buying the company. Now, these guys, Morningstar, has said AMD's a 300 fair value. Bro, we've passed that update. And I don't know why it's 3 out of 5. It's crazy. So, guys, AMD, I don't know what. I've treated myself because when AMD went more than $300, I promised myself I'll not buy more shoes, but I got a pair of shoes, which I'm going to do an unboxing and show it to you guys on my YouTube channel. So if you guys stay tuned and if you like that sort of content, that's what I'm going to show. It's basically the Nike Palace Air Max which came in. Wow, but that's crazy, you guys. AMD, wow. So let's go back to. Oh, wait. Let's look at what Morningstar says about Nvidia. $201 currently. Look, on this little money sitting in the private portfolio, right? There's $266, 1.3 shares. I've made 10.9%. That's what I'm saying, guys. The beautiful thing about fractional shares is that when you buy, you can buy $1, right? Obviously, I don't have money in right now. You could buy 1.50. You can buy 1 point whatever, right? So it's crazy. Like you can just keep accumulating slowly and build your percentage, build your money up. Let's look at Morning. Does Morningstar have a review on Nvidia? Well, it does. It's not here, but they had a. Oh, they do. They say it's 260. So you can look at these details online and say, okay, Morningstar is 260, it's to 50, 59 and some change to get up there. And you can accumulate slowly, $5 a day, $10 a day, whatever. Like, just do it. Like, have this timeline in your mind. Say, okay, I have this budget weekly that I want to invest, right? I always strongly believe that if you put great foundation, so if you build your portfolio with great foundation like a VOO, VTI, VUG, Triple Q, whatever, with ETFs, and then build individual stocks as well, that's a good balance in my opinion. If you don't want to buy ETFs or whatever, you do it with good companies that you believe in. If you use Uber, buy Uber stock. If you use Amazon, buy Amazon stock. I like to buy when it's red. If you're new to the market, right, and you're like you want to get into AMD, would I suggest getting into an AMD stock right now? If you don't own any AMD, don't put all your, don't load the boat. Put in a small position so you are in AMD stock. You see what I'm saying, right? So don't load the boat. Just buy amounts, right? Same with crypto. If you want to get into crypto and you're not looking at the stock market, put in amounts that you're ready to lose, okay? Because the crypto market is volatile, right? Stocks, it all depends. You can see the products. If you invest in Apple, you can see what Apple's doing with products and hardware, software, Apple TV, blah blah blah, right? So look at this. But I want to, if you guys have the chance, if you click an earlier video, you know what, I'll, after this goes live, oh, it's a live video, I can't, but if you watch my other videos, you can see, look at the CRM dividend reinvested. Your $1 dividend from CRM, that's just in the public portfolio. Like I'm getting money while we're on this call. It's a dollar, but it's still a dollar, bro. Like The public portfolio, one day we will look at the public portfolio, won't be this. It'll be 17,000, it'll be 70,000. And that's the aim. I know I'm going to get the public portfolio up. 'Cause I've seen it. I've done it for myself in the private portfolio. I just grew it, grew it, grew it. I wish I did more in my 20s. I wish I did more in my 30s. However, you know, 5 years ago, 6 years ago, 7 years ago, I was pumping more money into the private portfolio. So I do believe in all these companies that I invest in, the public, in the private. I believe in them. Do I adjust them every now and then? Obviously, like I said, every couple of years I look at them and see what it is. If I have enough gains, take some money, rotate it in another stock. But yeah, guys, I think I'm going to leave it as that right now. If you look at my IG stories, I just took a screenshot what I bought in Fidelity with the buying price and everything. So if you guys want to do that, so I usually put my screenshots on my IG about my private portfolio, what I'm buying, what I'm looking at. But I'm going to leave it at that. The road to 10K is on. 10 to 20. So challenge yourself, make yourself better in terms of leveling up in your investments, your financial journey. Don't let your money sit in a bank. Make your money make money for you. Scared money doesn't make money. So do your due diligence, do your research, reach out to the people in your circle, ask your friends, family if they're doing this. If they aren't, connect with me, connect with people, whatever. I'm not selling you anything, I'm just saying, right? Connect with people that you want to grow, right? Financially, knowledge, whatever, right? On that note, make it happen, own it, one love.